Welcome, and this is Miss Beard talking about Italy for Mediterranean Europe and multicultural foods. All right, so first we're going to talk about the geography and climate of Italy. As you can see, Italy is a peninsula and it's surrounded on three sides by water. And that means that seafood is a big part of the cuisine in all of Mediterranean Europe, but especially in Italy. Italy is shaped like a boot, and the capital is directly in the middle, which is Rome. Rome was also the capital of the Roman Empire, which we will talk about in a moment when we talk about its history. Italy has a very mountainous terrain, and it's known for the Italian Alps and other mountain ranges. And the climate is very regional. In the south, they have a hot, dry climate where they grow all kinds of citrus fruits, and in the north, they have a cooler climate, and they have a lot more crops that they can grow because of their climate. The geographic regions of Italy also, here is a list of the things that they produce. Like I just said, in northern Italy, it's very beautiful, and the Po River Basin is some of the most productive farmland in all of Italy. They produce a variety of crops, which we will see in a second. In central Italy, it's very mountainous and hilly, and the main crop that grows in central Italy is grapes, which is used to make wine at a variety of vineyards throughout Italy. In southern Italy, they're actually pretty poor in terms of natural resources. They can't grow a whole lot of things because of the climate. They do grow a lot of olives, which are used to make olive oil, which you see reflected in the cuisine of southern Italy. The Roman Empire is significant when we talk about all of Mediterranean Europe because the Roman Empire used to rule the area that is now Europe, Northern Africa, and Western Asia. And as you can see, Italy is in the middle of kind of the old Roman Empire, and Rome was the capital of the Roman Empire. So the Roman Empire influenced not only the culture of Italy, but also the foods that they eat, like garlic and oil. Although the empire collapsed in 330 AD, its influence can still be seen today. The Renaissance is important when we're talking about Italian food because of the way that the Renaissance affected the way that we think about food. We think of the Renaissance typically as an innovative period for arts, literature, and science. It happened from the 14th to the 17th century, but the Renaissance also was a time when people stopped thinking about food just for nourishment, and they started to think about what they could do with that food. Cooking preparation techniques really started to shine, and they used seasonings for the first time. And they really started to think about food as more of an art form. This was really the first time that food was thought of as instead of just something to keep you alive. Going back to agriculture, almost half of Italy's land is used for farming, and it surprised me to learn that most farming is done by hand. Even though we have a lot of different technologies that we can use today to farm, most Italians prefer to do it the old-fashioned way. A lot of farming takes place in the most fertile land, again, which is the Po River Valley, and wine vineyards are scattered throughout Italy. In northern Italy, you can see they produce a lot of different crops, including wheat, corn, rice, sugar, beets, flax, and dairy products. And in southern Italy, pretty much their most known crop is olive trees, and that is used to make olive oil. Italian holidays are centered around the Catholic calendar because most Italians are Roman Catholic. The most important holiday being Pascha, which is Easter, and you can see my little picture of a Easter chick saying Buona Pasqua, which means Happy Easter. There are some foods that are representative of Easter that the Italians eat as well. They include cakes and breads that are shaped like doves. They also eat lamb and eggs during Easter time as a symbol of life. Other Italian holidays include Festa del Morti, which is All Souls Day. It's very similar to Dia de los Muertos of the Latin American culture, which includes they pay respects to their dead relatives by leaving different foods out for their relatives to enjoy. On Christmas, people tend to travel from Rome all over the world to hear the Pope deliver his Christmas sermon. And if you've been watching the news recently, you have heard that Pope Benedict XVI has just resigned, which is really significant because no pope has resigned in over 600 years. Also significant in Italian holidays is Christmas, like I just said. They also decorate Christmas trees and display nativity scenes. The idea of a nativity scene came from Italy. The children receive gifts from Babbo Natale, which is Father Christmas. And culinary-wise, they do not eat meat on Christmas Day, but they eat a roast on Christmas Day to celebrate the holiday. Italian cuisine has a heavy Greek influence that you can see from the Roman Empire, and good food was often a symbol of status. Overweight people were considered to be wealthy because they had enough food to eat. It's funny because today being overweight or obese is a symbol of poverty. It's funny to see how much things have changed over the centuries. Like I already said, cooking and food both experienced a rebirth during the Renaissance. And there is quite the debate in Europe whether France or Italy has the best food. Italian chefs will tell you that they were hired by the French kingdom during Henry II to teach the French chefs new skills. So, of course, if Italy had to teach France how to cook, well, then Italy would be the superior cook, if you ask the Italians. All right, moving on to characteristics of Italian cuisine. Italian cuisine is known for being very interesting, colorful, varied, yet surprisingly simple. They tend to keep natural flavors of food together, and they mix high-quality ingredients in. They typically go to the market every day or every other day, and they don't indulge in convenience foods, meaning if they want something sweet to eat, they will typically go to a bakery and get something fresh. They don't unwrap a honey bun and consider that something that's good to eat. They also use a variety of herbs, spices, and other seasonings to flavor their foods. And their most common cooking methods include simmering and frying. They rarely use the oven. Some Italian staple foods include pasta, and pasta is probably one of the most simple foods that you can make. It's made with just flour and water, and if you want to add eggs, that's a variety of pasta called egg pasta. It can be shaped in a variety of ways, and can be made fresh or commercially, meaning that you can make it at home or you can buy it from the store pre-made. One is not particularly better than the other. They do taste a little bit different. If you were to buy commercially made pasta, it would be perfectly shaped, whereas if you made fresh pasta, it looks a little different because you're making it by hand. Regardless of how you're making the pasta, you should always serve it al dente, meaning firm to the bite, meaning that it should not be mushy, and you should be able to chew it without having it get stuck in your teeth. Pasta is often served with soups, sauces, and with meat. There are several types of pasta that are made commercially. Some of them that you can find in Italy are seen on the screen. There's literally hundreds of varieties of pasta, and there's no time to talk about them all. Some of the ones that you should know about include linguine, which is used for cream sauces like fettuccine sauce, Alfredo sauce, Also spaghetti, which is used for thicker meat sauces. Vermicelli, which is an angel hair, is to be used on oils and light buttery sauces. And some of the other varieties like macaroni, ziti, rigatoni, rotini, and farfalle are meant and designed to hold cheese and other sauces. Manicotti and shells are meant to be filled with some type of cheese mixture. And so you can see that pasta is designed in order to go with certain dishes. And if you pair the right pasta with the right sauce, you get a wonderful flavor combination. Because Italy is surrounded by water, they eat lots of different types of fish. Some of the types of fish include sole, sea bass, anchovies, sardines, mackerel, tuna, eel, squid, octopus, shellfish, oysters, mussels, lobsters, and shrimp, just to name a few. They typically also eat their seafood fresh, meaning the day that they catch it is the day that it is served in the restaurants. Here's a picture of some different varieties of seafood. You can see lobster, mussels, oysters, and some different types of shrimp. Other staple foods include rice, pork, lamb, veal, beef, and poultry. Italians are not shy about using meat in a variety of their dishes. They often eat both red and white meat and seafood. So they get a good variety of foods, which helps them get all the nutrients that they need. We can't talk about staple foods without talking about Italian dairy products, including cheese. Parmesan cheese is a hard cheese that you see to the far right of your screen. It can be grated, and you've probably had Parmesan cheese before on a variety of dishes. Mozzarella cheese is the white cheese that you see in the center of your screen. It is very soft and can be grated and very finely. Other cheeses include Romano, ricotta, provolone, and gorgonzola. Ice cream is also something that was kind of made famous by the Italians. Granita is almost like an Italian ice. It's a light sherbet made with powdery ice. And gelata is made with the milk, very similar to gelato. If you've never had gelato, it is a very thick, custardy ice cream that is absolutely wonderful. I encourage you to go get some gelato as part of this unit of study. Italian beverages include cafe espresso, which is a pretty thick and dark coffee. It's made in a cafeteria, which you can see to the bottom right of your screen. Vino is also very popular, which is Italian wine. And remember, in Europe, everybody drinks regardless of age. It's part of their culture. And grapes are a big agricultural product as well, so they produce wine. Italian wines are known all around the world for their quality. In Italy, Italian cooking is regional cooking, and a lot of the foods are best when they're found in their own home regions. In northern Italy, they have a lot more resources than in southern Italy, and so they spice their foods a little bit differently. Their food is a little bit more tasteful. It has thicker and richer sauces, and definitely is known to be more of the high-calorie dishes because they use butter instead of olive oil for their variety of cuisines. The pasta bolognese is a fresh egg pasta that you can make at home, and this is the type of pasta that we will be making for our ravioli in class. Some specialties of northern Italy include minestres, which are soups. They often use stuffed pastas and rich meat sausage and really enjoy sausages and other pork products. Some of the bolded words are vocabulary words that you will need to study. They include risotto, which is a rice dish made with butter, chopped onion, stock or wine, and Parmesan cheese. Gnocchi, which as you can see at the top right-hand corner of your screen, which are dumplings made of potatoes or wheat flour. Polenta, which is a porridge made of cornmeal. Minestrone, which is a type of soup made of onions, carrots, zucchini, celery, cabbage, rice, and seasonings. Ossobuco is a portion of a calf's legs, and panonette is a sweet cake filled with fruits and nuts. In southern Italy, they don't have as many resources as in northern Italy because of the crops that they produce, and dairy products are very rare. So they use olive oil to kind of saute and cook foods instead of butter, which makes their dishes a lot more light. It gives it a lighter flavor and is a lot healthier than the dishes prepared in northern Italy. Pasta Napoleana is a pasta that is produced commercially, so it's the type of pasta that you would buy at the store, and it does not contain egg. Some specialties of southern Italy include pizza and some of the other dishes that you see listed. They tend to serve pastas with rich tomato sauces that don't contain meat, and they will let pasta sauce simmer for hours. And so when I make a pasta sauce, it's something that would cook all day long on top of the stove, even if it's at a very low temperature. Pizza, like I already mentioned, is a Neapolitan dish, and there are a variety of types of pizzas, but it all started in southern Italy. So fritti is a lightly fried onions appetizer dish or antipasto dish. Eggplant Napoli and zucchini parmesan are both very similar to lasagna. They're kind of like vegetarian versions of lasagna. And lastly, The way that they structure Italian meals is very similar to America. They include antipasta, which is an appetizer, main course, and fruit and cheese. And thank you for listening. This is Miss Beard for Multicultural Foods.